I thank Dr. Chandram Garu for giving the lecture on one-day webinar on multi-objective evaluationary algorithms and its applications in engineering. I request our principal, Dr. Kolla Nagasrinivas Garu, will give brief about the institution and the program.
Good morning to you all. Welcome you all to the one-day webinar on multi-objective evolutionary algorithms and its applications in engineering by Dr. K. Chandram Garu, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, BITS Pilani, KK Birla, Goa campus. Our institution, Tirupati Institute of Technology, Motadaka, was established in the year 2008 by Sri Y.V. Anjaneyar Garu and is accredited with A grade by NAC. Since the inception of the institution, apart from imparting high-quality technical education, we are regularly conducting various programs like faculty development programs, workshops, guest lectures, seminars for the benefit of the students, faculty, research scholars, and the people from the industry. Since the last 2 months, due to this pandemic COVID situation, we are concentrating on conducting webinars on online faculty development programs. We have already successfully conducted 16 programs so far, and today we are conducting this program on multi-objective evolutionary algorithms and its applications in engineering. First of all, I thank Dr. Chandram Kari Garu for accepting our invitation and giving this webinar. He is a personality more interested in research activities, and this webinar topic is also most useful for the research scholars and also the students. I also thank Professor Uday Kiran, our IQAC coordinator, for making arrangements to this webinar. And I request all the participants to stay for the whole program and take maximum benefit from the webinar. At the end of the program, feedback link will be provided, and after the receipt of the feedback link, the certificates will be mailed to your registered emails. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. It gives me great pleasure in introducing the resource person of today's webinar, Dr. Chandram Kari Garu. Dr. Chandram obtained PhD in Power Systems from National Institute of Technology, Warangal. He had 15 years of experience, including 2 years industrial experience. Currently working in BITS Pilani, Goa campus. He guided PhD and PG students. He published 25 international journals and 28 international conferences. He had also have the administrative experience as a nucleus member in RCED division. He handled sponsored research projects by MHRD. Thank you for accepting the invitation. Now mic is yours, sir.
Yeah, very good morning to one and all, or to all the participants. And I mainly thank to the chairman of the Tirupati Institute of Technology and principal of the institute, and also Professor L. Uday Kiran, organizing this kind of webinars. And once again, I welcome to all the participants. I can see some of the known faces and also the students, scholars, faculty members who are listening my webinar on multi-objective evaluation algorithms and its application in engineering. So as there are 3 clusters, you can see students, scholars, faculty members, and some other audience who are interested in knowing about these algorithms. So let me speak very clearly about the title of the webinar. So most of you are aware that what is algorithm. It is involved with certain steps in solving any kind of problem. So most of you are aware about solving some optimization problems, we use some conventional algorithms in getting the solution. So in traditional way of applying solutions for problem dependent, but from 1960s onwards, there is a huge research is going on in finding a particular algorithm to solve wide varieties of problems. So this evolutionary algorithms comes under that category. So there will be a common platform where any kind of problem can be solved. So generally, we have some single objective problems and multi-objective problems. So if any optimization problem is involved with a single objective, then it is very easy to get the solution. But nowadays, in all engineering problems, there are wide variety and non-linear and highly complex problems are arised in engineering streams, which involves with multi-objectives. So I'll clarify what are the multi-objectives in a single problem, how these evolutionary algorithms can be applied. Know all these things. This webinar goes in these lines. So introduction to evolutionary multi-object algorithms, a brief history, multi-objective problem formulation, and some examples and test cases. So one of the most important issue is Pareto optimal solutions. Then evolutionary multi-objective algorithms in case in handling few objectives and many objectives. At the end of the webinar, some applications relevant to various engineering domain. So as some of you may have already worked on these areas, multi-objective algorithm, evolutionary multi-objective algorithm. So generally in any algorithms, it follows certain evolutionary optimizations. So I really would like to say a few words about John Hollins. So he is the pioneer in introducing this evolution algorithm, started with genetic algorithm. See, this history started in 1962. So really, if some of you know more information about these algorithms, the self-organizing systems, the paper.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sir, please increase your volume, sir, or you please speak loudly.
Okay. So if any one of you know more information about these evaluation algorithms, origin of evaluation algorithms, you can just refer this paper, self-organizing systems. So you can see the year 1962, and also they, and IEEE, most of you know that IEEE, so they have surveyed on evolutionary algorithms, multi-objective evolution algorithms in 2002. So the best paper among all is a fast and elitist multi-objective genetic algorithm, that is non-sorting genetic algorithm 2, which was published in 2002. So you can see the name here, Kalyanmay Dev, along with the other co-authors published this paper. So you can find more information, the importance of evolutionary algorithms. So with the span of 15 years, I can say now I can say around 20 years, the applications have moved to various domains. So everywhere, either in electrical engineering, computer science engineering, mechanical engineering, whatever engineering field you take, you require one kind of sophisticated algorithm in getting the best solutions. So not only algorithm framing, it has been extended up to research and finding the best solutions for highly complex problems, multi-objective problems. So on this also, you can just refer this paper. you see the history of evaluationary multi-object optimization. It started, I have shown till 1967, the growth of research work on evaluationary multi-objective algorithms. You can see the peak up to 2006 it is showing, but beyond this, nowadays, everywhere in every domain of research, every domain of engineering discipline, you will find multi-objective algorithms. So here is the history, how it is started, conventional algorithms, and then Goldberg suggested one multi-object algorithm, next multi-object genetic algorithm, non-sorting genetic algorithm, and so on. There are wide varieties of algorithms. Now the current trend in this area is multi-objective differential evaluation, multi-objective particle swarm optimization, and whatever the single objective, whatever the evaluationary technique or whatever the biologically inspired algorithm is introduced, the same biologically inspired algorithms can be modified as a multi-objective algorithms. This is a brief history. Let us see the problem formulation of multi-objective. So what is a multi-objective optimization? So it suggests us there are more than one objective. So let me give one example, very basic example of human relations. So I think here I can find bachelors, married people, and maybe after 45 years or 50 years, you may be with children. So before marriage, your life is a single objective, maybe learning and then earning. And post marriage, you will be with mother and wife. So that means your objectives are increased. So after 45 years, so one more objective is added, your child care. So here you have to satisfy all the objective functions. So this is very simple example in order to understand objectives in our daily life. Let us take engineering application, because I'm from power engineering background. So I can find some of you are with power system background or electrical engineering background. So whenever you carry optimal power flow, there are two objectives. One is generation cost must be minimized, and also loss must be minimized. So at a time, these two are not possible. Getting the solution of cost minimization and loss minimization is not possible. So we should compromise at one certain level. Even if it is mechanical or computer science or electronics and communication also, in electronics and communication, I can suggest one example of multi-objective algorithm. The bandwidth allocation in a particular channel while transmitting the data. There also you will find a set of, a number of objective functions with a set of constraints. So here unconstrained and constrained. When constraint is included with the problem, then we can say it is constrained multi-objective problem. So these are what it states. What is the statement of multi-objective optimization? It involves with many objective functions. There, either you have to minimize or maximize, subjected to various constraints and variables bound. So in multi-objectives, so each objective is function of some control variables, and on each control variable we have to impose some constraints. So that means what? All control variables which are involved with the objective function must be within specific limit that we call constraint on the variable. So what is the definition according to the IEEE standard? We know that we get several solutions to satisfy multi-objectives. Say suppose there is one solution, there are several solutions. So out of which I am finding two solutions here, x1 and x2 are the two solutions to satisfy the multi-objectives. So a solution x1 is said to dominate the other solution if both these two conditions should be satisfied. And you can all points which are not dominated by any other member, that just with this example you can see very clearly. So here I have considered two objectives. One objective is to be maximized and another objective is to minimized. You just find the literature survey on these multi-objective algorithms. In the beginning, I can say, I think most of you may heard about weighting, giving weightage to first function which is to be maximized and some other weightage to another function f2 which is to be minimized. So we have control variables in our hand. By varying weights for first function and second function and the values of variables, we will get multiple solutions. So here the solutions are mentioned here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here how to find some solutions which are non-dominated, here domination and non-domination. So what it can be seen from this picture, your f1 must be maximized. Let us suppose take 0.3. So here somewhere you will get 12 is 1, that means minimized. Now let us take these points 1, 2, 4. One of the best solution out of these three. So these 3, 5, 6 are taken as a non-dominated front. That means what? Here 1, 2, 4 can dominate the solution compared to 3, 5, 6. So therefore this region 3, 5, 6 region is taken as a non-dominated front. So the solution either may be 1, 2, 4. That you can see very clearly depending on what kind of objectives you have in your, what kind of problem you are solving. So there are 4 combinations you get. So one function f1 and f2 to be minimized, then the non-dominated front will be taken in this region. So these are some set of guidelines. And suppose if you have 2 functions where you have minimum and maximum combination, so then you have to take this region. What I have shown in the earlier problem, one is f2 is maximized, f2 is minimized, and f1 is maximized. So therefore the region should be taken like this. Okay, this is very standard solution to understand how to get the non-dominated front. So this is one of the crux in multi-objective problem formulation. So you will get n number of solutions, out of which you have to pick one solution to compromise both the functions. And in all multi-objective problems, one of the major issue is Pareto optimal solution. So in literature, what it mentioned. So you know, when 2 or more objective functions are defined in your problem, so what you will see, number of objective functions and some control variables which decides your objective function, and then on the control variables you will have some constraint on the control variable. These are the three things you will find in any optimization problem. If it is single objective problem, your function will be in the form of all variables and constraint will be imposed on variable. So here, if the given set of points for the task contain all points in a search space, that means what? Initially, whatever the control variables you have, you will define and you will initialize in the beginning. So like all control variables will be defined with a pre-specific range. And the points lying on the non-domination front, by here I have shown, this is the non-dominated front. Any other point in the object space. So the solutions, they constitute the Pareto optimal front, and the corresponding pre-images, decision variable vectors, are called Pareto optimal solutions. So any solution which satisfy these 3 points are taken as a Pareto optimal solutions. And out of these solutions, we have to pick the best solution. That will be depending on what kind of problem we are solving. So these are the general steps when we use Pareto optimal solution. 2 stages are involved. What are the two stages? In the beginning, in the multi-objective optimization problem, we will see how many objective functions are there. So either a specific function should be minimized or maximized. So let us consider all functions will be predefined with respect to the constraint. So in the beginning, what we do, by looking at the objective function, we will find out what are the control variables. All control variables will be predefined within the range by satisfying the constraint. And once it is defined, so what we do, the multi-objective optimizer. So in the multi-objective optimizer, so we will find a set of solutions. Out of that, a pair of solutions, not pair of solutions, some number of solutions will be taken as a non-dominated solutions. So out of the whatever the multiple solution we get, we will take all multiple solutions into the consideration. This will be taken as a first step in the multi-objective optimization. And once it is identified set of solutions and one solution will be picked, that will be taken as a final solution. So in any kind of evaluation of whatever, if you use non-sorting genetic algorithm or multi-objective particle swamp optimization or multi-objective differential evaluation, whatever algorithm you use, we follow the same strategy. So here, finding number of solutions, from that will decide quality of the solution. Like I wanted to tell you one thing here. You will be having, suppose, a objective function with a single variable, single objective function, or a single objective function with set of variables. Single objective function with set of variables. So here our objective is, suppose, minimizing the objective function. So that means what we do, say suppose you have one function with 2 variables, x1 and x2. So like you can define any function. Say suppose f equals to x1 square plus 0.2 x2 square. And suppose there are constraints on x1 and x2. Suppose x1 is within the range of 0 to 10 and x2 is within the range of 0 to 5. So those are called constraints imposed on the control variables. So while obtaining the solution, your solution must satisfy the constraints. So what we do in defining the initialization, so we'll take some numbers, some initial values of x1 and x2, and f will be calculated. So it is minimized. So therefore, we will define f as an objective function. So your search space starts by by iterating. So in the iteration, suppose if you use genetic algorithm for finding the solution, what you do, this objective function is defined. So therefore, objective function is evaluated for n number of chromosomes, and then f is evaluated. And further, while going to the next iteration, so we use some operators. If it is genetic algorithm, we use crossover, mutation, and parent selection, elitism. So for each iteration, your search domain will be reduced. At the end, you will find out one optimal solution, which is treated as a global optimal solution. So in this process, we may get several local optimal solutions. So we'll get one particular solution. So even if it is particle swarm optimization, so you will have initialization, evaluation of the objective function, and then the movement of the particles based on one equation. So that is updating your control variables. So there are biologically inspired algorithms, naturally inspired algorithms are designed for single objective solution. But when it comes to multi-objective solution, multi-objective optimization, here you see there are two functions. So here the front defined both f1 and f2 are to be minimized, minimizing f1 and minimizing f2. So therefore, here there are control variables. So let us suppose in the given problem, there are 3 control variables and 2 objective functions. Both these 2 objective functions to be minimized. So now, so by choosing best values of these control variables, you get values. You get both value of f1 and value of f2. So the location of these solutions will be in this region. So therefore, now the yellow marking solutions corresponding to this yellow marking is taken as a non-dominated front. So in this non-dominated front means while finding the solution for any multi-objective algorithm, here you will get one region which satisfy both the objective function, feasible solutions. In optimization, the other term is called infeasible solutions, and you have to exclude, you have to find out the Pareto optimal solutions, and this zone is called non-dominated zone, and you will get feasible solution within this pink region. So one of the solution will be treated as an optimal solution. So one of the concept in evaluation of multi-objective algorithms, so handling few objectives. So handling few objectives means, let us suppose in a particular problem, if you have 2 objectives, like I have shown here, 2 objectives with 3 control variables, then we can find out a Pareto optimal front. So in the Pareto optimal front, you will get feasible solutions here. So it is convincible in showing the Pareto optimal solution front. But if you have 3 objectives or beyond 3, so you cannot visualize the objective functions in this manner. So we require better visualization the objective functions are more than 2. So here, one more version, like when you optimize for multi-objectives, you will get, so again, I have shown there are two functions. One is f1 and f2. Both functions are to be minimized. So therefore, this region will give you the picture of non-nominated paradigm. In the other than I have shown, for different initial points, you will get different solutions. Somewhere you will find this is the entire region. Somewhere due to imposition of constraint, you may get infeasible regions. So infeasible regions never considered as a solution. So there we need some other strategy in showing the solution. So therefore, for more objectives, the Pareto optimal front becomes difficult. Is here the biggest question. You just if the objective functions are more than, so we may not be this kind of fronts. So there we require another strategy in getting the solution. That is for handling a few objects and you require some standard function to evaluate the performance of the any algorithm. So even nowadays we are facing crux about this COVID. To get many medicine drug that should be tested on some animals whether it is working or not. Similarly, here also to test the performance of multi-objective algorithms, we require some standard test functions to see the performance of multi-objective algorithms. So background, what are the test functions available? You can easily visualize what are the functions here. Here, some standard functions are predefined, and every multi-objective algorithm, whether it is efficient, how far it is efficient, those algorithms are tested on this. So you can find out here you have f1 of x1 is x1. So here x1 is treated as a control variable, and another function z is with I equals 2 to n. That means you will get number of variables, number of control variables. So here xi range constraint on x is 0 to 1. Okay, n value is given 30. Okay. Let us see for the first function how multi-objective algorithms works. So I have shown the same thing. This is the standard test function. So first function I have considered f1 of x equals to x1 and f2 of x equals to g of 1 minus f1 by g squared. So here from these two you can easily observe the variables are here x1. So now your f2 is depending on f1. Here see what g is defined 1 plus 9 by n minus 1 into I equals to 2 to n of xi. That means suppose n is 30, that means you will get 29 control variables x1 up to x30, total 30 control variables, and both functions are to be minimized. So here f1 and f2 should be minimized. So therefore, while getting the Pareto optimal front, here what you get, this is the region, and corresponding to each control variable, you will get the solution. You will get set of solutions. So out of which this region will taken as Pareto optimal front, and you will get many solutions depending on the choice of the user in the sense who is using the algorithm based on the requirement of the functions. So you can find best solution for that. You see the another one, the other case here also I have taken two functions, right? So here you will get some disjoints. That is the basic difference between the first one and second one. Here the algorithm used algorithm is non-sorting genetic algorithm 2, variant 2. So here you will get some disjoints. So therefore complexity is increased from first case to second case. Now suppose the other case, when you have constraint on the control variable, then here I have considered two functions, both are to be minimized, f1 and f2 are to be minimized, and you have only two control variables, that is x1 and x2 will be defined in the initialization, and while evaluating f1 and f2 you will get solutions. In the earlier case, if suppose there is no constraint on control variable, then you will get the Pareto optimal front in this direction. This is the when the constraint is imposed on the control variable, then the scenario will be changed. So the Pareto optimal front will be in this region for this function. Similarly, for this, the same, there are some designs, you will get Pareto optimal front in this way. Even suppose if you search in Google, you will find this MATLAB code even in mathworks.com. Just search that website mathworks.com. You will find source code for this non-NSDA2, and you can find out all codes in MATLAB. So here your contribution as a scholar, your contribution will be like defining of your objective function, problem formulation, and how many control variables are there, how many objectives are there, and according to your problem, choose the best multi-objective algorithm, and this only changing of your control variable, changing of your objective function, which gives you the solution. So for your convenience, here I have found very useful information about available softwares. So this is the list of already packages which are available and developed in various platforms using softwares. You can note these slides will be shared to you. You can find out if you are a scholar, if you are working on multi-objective algorithms. My best suggestion, get some awareness and do the literature survey on multi-objective algorithms and find out the best algorithm suited for your problem formulation. Suppose you are a scholar in computer science, you know the problem definition and you know what are the objectives, set of constraints, and find out any this software packages and try to learn how to insert your objective function in the package. And also for every optimization problem, you need to understand how to terminate the algorithm. So with these two, defining your control variable and evaluation of the objective functions, finding the Pareto optimal front, and from the available Pareto optimal front, one is required to find out the best solution as per the choice of your problem. So you can use any one of the software packages. So this is the summary of my webinar. So I have provided the description about multi-objective evaluation algorithms and information about Pareto optimal solutions and solution for few objectives and multi-objectives. As I said in the beginning of my lecture, this is interdisciplinary subject, multi-objective evaluation algorithms. So whoever is working on this area, you just see your problem statement and then use one of the available and best algorithm. See, everywhere in all domains, you will find a good optimization technique. So use it and get the result, and use literature is available on multi-objective algorithms, and that will be provided to all the participants. So these are the best textbooks currently available in the market. So, and another book is Nonlinear Multi-Objective Optimization. This one also very good book, Multi-Objective Problem Solving from Nature. And some articles I have mentioned here to know about NSGA and comparison of multi-object evaluational algorithms. So with this, open for the discussion, or if any questions, feel free and ask me. Thank you.
Do you have any questions? Please raise your hands. I will connect it to the resource person. Pranita, I am unmuting you. Please unmute and ask the doubt.
Hello.
Pranita, unmute and ask your doubt. Sir, tell me, sir.
Hello, what is your doubt?
1 second, sir. 1 second.
Okay.
Any of you, do you have any doubts? Please raise your hand. Otherwise, chat box is open. You may feed the question in chat box also. Any of you, any questions? How far MATLAB can help us this optimization, sir?
Actually, to be specific, who is that participant? Whether he is a
here, sir.
Student, a scholar, or faculty?
Name is not mentioned, sir. Maunika.
Okay. See, MATLAB is developed including all areas of engineering. So you can find out in MATLAB, Simulink box, image processing, data science, or communication toolbox, signal processing toolbox, or optimization, including everything. See, I have not discussed in detail about some multi-object algorithms like NSGA, multi-object to particle sum optimization, multi-object to differential evaluation. So for all these multi-objective algorithms, these algorithms have been tested on basic functions which are available in MATLAB Central, that is called mathworks.com. If you want, I will write it here. How to write? Uday?
Sir, you please open the notepad. Otherwise, you may. Sir, you close this presentation and open the notepad, sir.
Better. That is called mathworks.com. Go to that website or simply type in Google any multi-object algorithm like MODE or MOPSO or NSDA2. Just type in Google, it will take you to that link, mathworks.com. All codes are available. Codes of multi-objective algorithms, testing on some standard test cases I have shown now. These are the standard test cases. If you propose any multi-objective algorithm, your job is to test on these two, and you can verify your result with the available methods. Hello.
Sir, no hands were raised. I think no doubt, sir.
Okay.
And now
So actually, I have highlighted the information on only basics of the multi-objective evaluation algorithm. So it is like a foundation for understanding the multi-objective algorithms. When it comes to discipline-wise, like multi-objective differential evaluation has been used. One of my MTech student on renewable energy sources, like a placement of the wind turbine. So while placing the wind turbines, we have two objectives. One objective is to minimize the distance. Another one is to increase the efficiency of the wind turbine. So likewise, I have told for optimal power flow in power system planning, minimization of the loss, minimization of the cost. These two are the major applications in power system side. If someone are working on motors, like designing of generator or designing of synchronous generator, there also two objectives will be there: minimization of the loss due to the iron, and increasing the efficiency. And even in mechanical engineering also, I have found some applications in computer science also. Like if you belongs to computer science, I have shown if the objective functions beyond two, like beyond 2 means F1, F2, F3 are there. Getting the Pareto optimal trend, visualizing if it is beyond 3D. So visualization of data, whatever the set points you get, solution points you get, how will you visualize? How, what are the various techniques for visualizing the data? Based on the data, how to find the best solution is also one application. And I have seen couple of applications even in a communication system also. So as please treat this particular 40 minutes as an introduction to the multi-objective algorithms, and some literature will be provided to you, and use this particular multi-objective algorithm concept as a ladder for your research work if you are a researcher in this domain. Any more questions?
Sir, no hands were raised, sir, and they are busy in filling the feedback.
Okay, I'll
Sir,
conclude it.
through, sir,
Huh?
Shailendra, your mic is unmuted, sir. You please ask your doubt. Okay, no hands were raised. So this time to vote of thanks. I express my thanks to our chairman Sri Y.V. Anjaneyal garu and secretary Y. Sujit Kumar garu for encouraging to conduct the series of webinars for the benefit of students, faculty and research scholars. I thank the resource person and my guide of today's webinar, Dr. Chandram Curry, for the versatile presentation in the context of multi-objective optimization algorithms and its applications in engineering. I thank to the participants from the different places who are present for the whole session and for their patience listening. I thank the faculty of electrical department for their continuous support. I thank Principal K. Naga Srinivas garu for their continuous support to conduct the webinars. I thank one and all. Thank you. And feedback form is live now. You may upload the information. By the end of this day or tomorrow, you'll get the certificate. All the certificates will be sent to your registered mail IDs. Thank you one and all. Thank you, sir. Sir? Chandram, sir?
Tell me.
Now I am closing, sir.
So, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.